So picking up from there, part 2. Well, we're talking about positive psychology, this 3-to-1 ratio, this idea that bad is stronger than good. It certainly appears that way from the intellectual box, from the logic box. But if you can experience yourself as spirit, as source, as energy, as love, if you can for a moment let that flood your mind, that is all there really is anyway. That is the truth of our being. It's the source of all life. So some of these things are really, it's like you can't understand it. It's impossible to understand it with your logic. You will never ever be able to do that. So let go of that and instead allow yourself to fall into the experience that you are having. And that is why I am so passionate that the transformation will occur when we each experience this for ourselves, right? So we can't deny the truth that we feel through the teachings of Buddha. We can't deny the truth we feel through the teachings of Jesus. But we could easily get ourselves caught up in the outside world, and then we become a part of the problem because, well, it's not even a problem. We become a part of the manifestation of fear instead of the manifestation of love. Does that make sense? And the best thing is, right, you don't want to bury your head in the sand and pretend any of it is not there. Like, that doesn't help. That's very kind of new age, is like, let's all be peace and love, man, and pretend nothing else exists. That doesn't help either. Because the truth is, we are experiencing that in our physical form, and it does appear very real to us, because it is real to us in this current experience. So what we want to do is welcome everything and see it all and allow ourselves to feel everything that we feel. And I'll dig out in a minute and find it. There was a piece that came through me last summer about when we see atrocities, when we see horrendous things, when we see things that invoke in us feelings of, fear, sorrow, terror, trauma, all of that difficult feelings, that we allow ourselves to fall into that, and we breathe and we invite source, we invite loving presence. I mean, for me that, Jesus for me is the connector. Now, I'm not religious, I'm not a Christian, although I think there's some great principles there. I also think there's a whole load of crap there. But what I do believe is in this unconditional love, because I've experienced it. And you have too, I'm sure, at points. And so when we are deliberately inviting that into our minds, when we are wanting to have this experience of connection and unity instead of this experience of separation, that is what we will come to have. And the way I believe that we come to it, the way that I've been shown, is that the first thing we have to do is we have to become unafraid of the feeling sensations in our physical bodies. We have to become unafraid of fear. We have to become unafraid of sorrow. We have to become unafraid of the terror that is kicking around in our energy systems. Because as you can come to rest, then you become this magnificent being of peace. Because you can bring love to every situation. And anything that invokes fear in you is such an amazing gift to help you find your peace. So that we can make this incredible evolution in the experience of ourselves and the experience of life itself on this earth. So does that make sense? So in summary, you have to expand how you are seeing what you are. You have to stop relying on the outside things that you see. You have to stop believing that they are fact. You have to start believing that you can see something else, and that it starts with you. It starts with you finding that absolute peace inside of yourself, and that's the journey. And you will oscillate back and forth, and that is absolutely fine. So take a deep breath right now. when fear arises, allow yourself to feel. Allow yourself to realize that you are not under threat, that there is nothing to be afraid of. There is only this moment ever. And yet the mind is residing constantly either in the future or the past. And your current job is to bring it to this present moment, where you feel and experience that amazing love. And for me personally, it feels a bit like being in two places at the same time. It's like I'm listening to this silence, this presence, and I get this sense of something greater. And I know the truth of it, as you do too, because we all have the capacity for this connection. And so the most important thing is our state of being. But what's really important is you can't fake this till you make it. You can't just pretend you're happy. You can certainly do things to shift your energy, like the lovely gratitude practice we've been doing. And that's one of the things, it's one of the tools that's moving you. But what you really want is your eyes wide open. So thank you so much for sharing your fear. It is only when we look completely on the darkness and we shine that light that it just disappears. So what we don't want to do is let it lurk in the shadows, which is what we've been doing for so long. We want to shine a light, we want to breathe and be and share together in that, so that we can expand, so that we can have a different perspective. And so for me, always the most powerful thing when it takes me, because it does, is to imagine, for me, imagine the energy of Jesus, and that is not Jesus. To me, Jesus is the consciousness of the Christ mind. The pure unconditional love, the consciousness that knows its connection with all things. So it's this amazing wisdom. It's not a man who was the Son of God, I don't believe that. But it is an anchor and something that can help us to connect and help us to expand the little sort of limited logic box that we are bouncing around in. Equally Buddha to me came to the same consciousness, and many others. So all of those ascended masters, you can call on any of those and ask, please fill my mind with your mind, please fill me with your love, and please help me see with your eyes. And that means when we're asking for that, we are able to look at the world and we are able to see the fear, and we are able to hold that fear in love. And that's where the transformation happens. So I hope that's helpful. Let me know what you think. And this is, let's talk about this, let's share more. But the most profound place you're going to find this is in the quiet. It's in the silence. When the noise of the outside world has quietened enough, you can actually allow your experience of your beingness. Yeah. Anyway, loads of love from me too. Let me know what you think and feel. And does this make sense? I hope it does. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.